podcast that does nothing useful. It's Guys, Games, and Beer. Thanks, ladies. Woo!
It's a good week
today,
to drink.
It is a good week to drink.
Today we've got with us
Gar Nelson of the Garcade.
Hey there, Gar.
Hey, Gar!
Hey, guys.
Okay, but before we start talking to Gar about the Garcade, which is the actual subject of tonight's show, I think we need to do something first. This has got quite the label. Travis, what do we got tonight?
Wait,
wait!
Logo! We have to commit to our totally original, not infringed upon in any way, shape, or form theme song for
protected by free speech.
Beer Court.
Da 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 da.
Please don't sue us. So today I have brought with something called the Fascinator. South of the border in Illinois, there is Goose Island Brewery, and I liked the sound of the beer, and I liked what it was. So I figured I'd bring it along. Laura here is going to read off the box and give us a beer description.
Well, first of all, we should say that it is a 2017 release, one of 4. So there are 3 more that are being released, special releases in 2017.
Goose Island really tries to switch it up every year.
I like the right on the artwork. I like the $6 Million go.
Yeah,
that is kind of cool,
a very
actually.
fascinating logo, no pun intended.
Ooh.
Okay.
Maybe it was. Maybe
I got dad jokes all day.
And
So-
then, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. So
I
what
was
type
just
of
going
beer
to
is
say,
it?
this is it's a blonde doppelbock, and it's a big malt body with subtle sweetness and fruity esters. Whatever the hell an ester
What?
is.
Yeah. All right, they're using the fancy $10
For
words.
those of you who know brewing, esters are something that hops infuse into beer.
Get out of here!
All right, before
Stop trying to
so
teach
when
me.
I hear it's like malty and I tend to think of low bitter, right?
I have ice cream.
A double bock? Yeah, low bitter. You're right.
Low bitter.
Yeah, it's not going to be a bitter.
Low bitter.
This is also 8% alcohol by
8%
volume.
alcohol.
It is a doppelbock.
And it's 40
blonde
on the
double.
bitter scale.
Okay, so it's a little higher than most.
Yeah.
It smells like Miller.
All right.
Wow.
Cheers,
Well, it
guys.
does.
Wait. Cheers.
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 Not bad though.
Well, they weren't wrong on the bitter.
No, I don't taste the bitter.
I do.
Really?
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I want to say what's really
It's in
cool
the
about
finish.
this beer.
There's just a little bit of bitter in the finish.
I really taste those fruity esters.
I think what's really cool about this beer is if you put your finger over the S, it says Assinator. I think that's pretty damn cool.
Wow, it does
Right
actually.
here.
And
Now you know why the goat's on the label.
Also,
was
when it
not
comes to a higher
unintentional.
ABV beer, when it comes to higher ABV beer, this would probably be my second favorite behind OG.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
This is, and I would barely count this a high ABV beer,
I
but
would say 8%.
It's
Yeah.
8. It's getting up there.
let's get up there.
No, I mean, I know we've done 12.
Not
and
OG,
stuff like
though.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, we've
You're
done
out of
20.
You're out of the standard range. Though.
Yeah.
I mean,
We've done Dragon's
That's
Milk,
true.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've done 20.
4.5 to 6.5.
Okay,
These
here,
stuff.
and,
No.
here's the
Screw
qualifier
that
though
stuff,
is
though.
I can
Oh,
drink.
no, the 20
I like the
yeah.
taste of like Dragon's Milk and
Oh,
things like that,
yes.
but I can
No,
do
it's
like
good tasting
one
stuff.
and one and a half of those, and I'm on my ass. This I could drink all
I have a
goddamn
headache the whole
day
way.
until I'm drunk.
I'm going to
I've
have one
got
and be on my
barley
ass.
wine.
I gotta say,
So I'm trying to be hungry.
I gotta say,
You know what a bar
it's
wine
No.
it's a
It sounds like a wine with some barley in it.
No, actually, barley wine is extremely high alcohol beer. To the point where it almost starts to pull out a lot of the barley flavors, and it actually has to age in the bottle.
That's science.
We're
not
not
ready
going
to
to
see
be
that.
breaking stuff. Holy
Nothing
cow.
to see there.
poltergeist.
But it
we're
requires additional
physically
aging
no
in the
longer a
bottle
member.
to smooth out the texture and the flavor of the beer. Barley wines were all the rage about 10 years ago.
What's
I
the
think I
alcohol
remember.
content of that?
Barley
I
wines will
remember
typically
barley
get into the
wine.
16 to 18%.
That's pretty good.
That's extremely high for a beer.
So enough where you're gonna
Mess
know
you
it.
up.
I gotta say, guys,
It's higher than wine.
my thing with this is it's a little antiseptic tasting. I think the alcohol, because it's such an
No, you get that a lot.
What's the point in the glass?
Maybe you're
I was gonna say it would be better in a glass.
Yeah.
Because you have
Larry,
like
give
a
me one of those glasses.
But yeah, I do have to say this is pretty
One
impressive.
shelf up. One shelf up should be good for this
I
one.
think it's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's
This is impressive for what it is.
You
Alright.
get a good nose on it.
Like,
Yeah,
I am the guy. Yeah.
Let's see here. Thing is, we are thinking bar dunk. We can actually
Yeah,
pour this
right?
into the proper
Yes.
beer glass for it.
Got a lot of color.
That was good.
Yeah, it does actually.
What?
It burped up good.
Wow.
Did it burp up good?
Yeah, stop
We do
burping
rate them on
orange.
how
Just
well they burp
remember, good burp.
Stop burping orange.
You know, that's it. Yeah, I gotta say, get it out of there, it helps.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you get more of the nose then. Smooths out that alcohol flavor.
And it's just like a metal bottle thing.
Yeah, it does. Try that.
I know.
That makes a big difference.
Travis knows how to drink beer. He doesn't know a whole lot, but he knows how
Yeah.
to drink.
Larry, you got a straw back there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got
Rob
it.
just needs to. Wait, Rob. Here
This
you
is
go.
a-
There's the
Nice.
straw.
Good.
Again,
All
it's
right.
it's nothing
get
like
real.
weird or out of the ordinary, but what it does
Fell in
well.
there.
Yeah, you know that's it.
I gotta tell you.
And it's
yeah.
8%, which is awesome. So
Oh, there's a night and day between drinking from the bottle and drinking from
On this
the
one
glass.
especially.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Certain beers, it does not make that big of a difference. You're drinking a Miller, you can drink it out of pretty much anything. You can drink it out of a dirty shoe, it's going to taste just
Yeah,
about
might
the
as well.
same.
That's good, right?
Way
But
to
when
name a wedding tradition. Oh.
Yeah, but when you get a better beer, it does make a difference, and this is a better beer. Yeah, you know, I'm going to go thumbs up on this one too.
Oh, me too. I was just pouring mine into
You
a
know,
glass.
in a glass,
Against my better judgment,
not in a glass.
I'll give a beer from Illinois a thumbs up.
Oh! Spoken like a true Wisconsin gentleman.
I like it because it's going to fuck me up out of the straw, I think.
Oh yeah!
Rob classing this place up all the way.
Damn right.
Actually,
Alright.
so here's one for you. Since we're in beer court, I feel the need to tell you guys. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I worked for Sprecher Brewing Company for 5 years.
Oh.
Worked on the bottling line. I did a lot of quality control.
Did you put
Every other quality.
a glove on one of
I
the
like this
bottles?
idea.
Why?
Well, like,
I would
control
actually
sounds good
get
to me.
paid to go and do beer tastings all over Wisconsin. So, like, for 5 years, I got to lead, like,
Oh my
the
God.
coolest,
I didn't realize you had a
most
professional
fun
under
beer
this.
life you could live.
Wow.
Yes, so
Okay.
there's a lot of history there for me.
I agree.
So we should all be quiet and just let the expert.
I think he just validated us because we all agreed with him. So
Yeah, no, I.
without knowing that.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
yeah.
Well, validation's something we don't get a lot of.
No, not at all. Not at home, not at work, not with our wives. Welcome to our
Got a
world.
little too close to home.
Yeah, just a
Sorry.
bit. Just a touch. Just a touch.
All right. Well, the honorable judge.
I know.
Judge-
I just put on the weed just so it will tell me nice things about me. You know?
You're doing great.
You said we, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Not the weed.
The old we exercise would tell you great things about yourself.
Oh, really?
You're
I always
doing
called me
great.
fat.
Move faster.
You got the jerk turn in.
All right, Judge Rob, pass sentence on this.
On count one of hiding your assassination attempt, I find you guilty. God damn, where's my hammer? Anyway,
Probably in your house.
on count two of
Stealing your straw?
of attempting to hide yourself as a children's drink by putting a straw in, also guilty. I sentence you to drinking, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Immediate sentence, no delay.
No delay. Just go all the way down to the bottom there, Rob.
I see you're improving your legal terminology. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. So, Rob, what are we really talking about tonight?
We're talking about Garcade.
That
No.
book we bought him was helpful.
Those night courses.
Okay, the autobiography by Judge Reinhold does not count. All right.
All right.
12 years of night court.
Rob, we are talking about.
I got Bull's haircut.
Wow, that was okay. Obscure 80s television
I do too, but
references
down
all
below.
day long. You got this. All right, so Rob, we are really talking about.
We're going to talk about the Garcade. Now, this started in the basement, right?
Yeah, it's actually, this has grown from a small hobby in my basement to a full-blown commercial adventure. Really, it's been a lot of fun. We moved from, we originally had 600 square feet in our basement, and I somehow shoehorned about 25 machines in there.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
My wife wouldn't give me any more of the basement, so it eventually overflowed into my 2.5-car garage. When I could no longer walk into my garage, I decided that I'd either have to stop collecting or I'd have to find a bigger place.
From the
And
sounds of it,
Wow.
you made the right
So at
choice.
this point,
Response number one
in the
was second.
basement, at this point in the basement, it's just a collection.
It's a collection.
Collection,
It
or
was
did
a-
you have people over? Or did you have
I
special
would occasionally
events?
have
Or
get-togethers. We started it more as a family thing. My kids, they're both young. My daughter's 8. My son's about to be 12. And
so they had the cool
they
kid
would,
house.
yeah, they would actually
That's-
love going on the road trips with me. I don't know if it was because I bribed them with candy and soda or the fact that they actually enjoyed going, but
I think it's the candy and soda.
Do
But
they
continue on.
it's
Do
not
they
my
still
personality.
So you went to like collecting shows, like auctions and things like that?
Well, I went to the last couple of auctions up in Milwaukee and
At State
one
Fair
or two,
Park?
one or two since out at the Waukesha Expo Center, but that's pretty much dried up in the last 5 years. You just haven't seen them much in the Midwest anywhere, and so
Well, there's that one.
I have some great
there's
stories
that
from
one in
behind the
Iowa I
scenes.
always want to go to because it's at a theme park.
I know, yeah.
That's
That'd be fun.
terribly inconvenient timing. It seems like it's convenient timing, but it's not convenient
No,
timing.
especially when they usually do it like, early spring, late fall. You don't want to do the water rides so much at that point. So.
Well, I mean, the reason I think they use that venue is that the theme park is closed during that time, so
Right.
they just have
Right.
space available.
Yep.
But I think like Thanksgiving weekend is they've had it then, or maybe Easter weekend. It was like around kind of like a holiday, and it was just like, oh come on, this is terrible. And
Yeah.
there's other stuff going on,
All right, tangent
But-
one for Larry.
We're talking about our auctions, and so that
Yeah,
one still is going, but obviously you haven't been out
Do
to
you
that
see them
one.
a lot more down south? You see them
Oh,
in, like,
okay,
Texas.
all right. So then you travel down there?
No.
I
No.
mean, people do. So
For the most part, we've gone through and just collected periodically over the years, just through various arcade collecting channels like KLOV and Craigslist, Facebook, networking with other collectors. We have a great collectors group here in the Midwest, and a lot of the guys are really supportive of each other. And I've gone to help other
Not
guys.
cutthroat.
No, well, everybody's
There's always
looking for the
gonna be
same
one.
stuff.
The store, right.
Yeah, everyone's looking for, they were really upset when I got my $25 Robotron, but
Whoa. All right, now I'm upset. Okay.
Man.
that was an auction in Iowa.
Holy crap!
Fully
Okay, I'm a
restored,
touch
completely
upset myself for
working.
$25.
Yeah.
That was in Iowa.
yes, it was.
Interview's over.
Right, you can go home now. We're not talking
I
about
really think we need to go to Iowa.
But, with all the guys, a lot of us look for the same things, but a lot of us are really challenged on space, and so you see a lot of stuff go from collector to collector to collector.
Yeah, 'cause
And
you
a lot
gotta
of the
move
guys
in.
really stand by their
You
machine.
gotta move in
So-
the gauntlet, so you gotta push out Tapper.
Exactly. Well, yeah, sometimes that's how it goes.
And again, since space is limited and some people unload their collection, this brings us to why we're here today. What did you decide to do with your collection instead?
Right, instead of having it in your basement, then your garage, now where's the collection?
So now we've decided to open an arcade in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin. We're right on Appleton Avenue, just north of Pilgrim. We're in the North Hills Shopping Center, so we're upstairs from Classic Lanes. We're also right down the way from Tiki Games, which also does board games and collectible card games. And so it's a great location. We got
That is
really cool
That's really
people
good. Yeah.
That's
along
a
with
great
us.
location. And the bowling alley downstairs from you
Yep.
is freaking brilliant.
Yep, and actually that
So
helps
like an
us
entertainment
out.
mecca.
Yes.
And it helps us out because we're not going to be doing alcohol. We're not going to be doing things like that because we really want to keep it family oriented. I have small kids, and I want to make sure they can be there with
So
you.
that was a philosophical choice.
So yeah, the reality is we're going to be doing the $15 to get in. You get a wristband.
Also, we were
All
talking
day.
before. The
Yeah,
world's got enough
everything's
outlets.
it's come and go all day. Everything's on free play, and the beauty of it is, if you really want to, you can go downstairs, have a beer or two, come back up, enjoy a couple of games, go down and have another beer or two. Like, as long as we can keep it cool and everyone has a good time, there isn't any trouble. We can continue doing that. And
You need a bouncer.
I'm not big enough.
Yeah,
I'm volunteering.
You're hired.
Are you going to be selling like snacks and stuff?
Yeah,
Or
we'll be
maybe
doing
you don't want to leave, man. You're just
sodas and
like, I need a Mountain Dew and some
if you're gonna be
chips.
doing like a long marathon, or you want to be there for a couple of hours, we're gonna have soda. We're gonna have we're gonna actually have Gamergy on site. Their new energy drink based out of Wisconsin here.
Didn't they give it to us?
And they
MGC,
were at
yeah.
MGC
MGC,
along
yeah,
with us.
yeah.
They were giving out samples, and it's great because it's no harsh stimulants,
Yeah.
no corn syrup, no aspartame, and so it's safe for the kids. It's
Yeah, they're at
good,
GameCon, too.
long
Yeah, they were at GameCon,
lasting
too, yes.
energy.
I really like it that much, but then I poured some gin in it.
Right.
And you liked it
I
even
really
more.
liked it a lot.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I didn't like it too much
It's
either.
really
I
a
like
personal
mine.
preference.
Yeah.
So, with Garcade, what's the square footage of your new location?
So the arcade proper, that we call it, is about 5,000 square feet. The total area that we have is almost 7,500 square feet. So it's a massive location. We're going to be starting with 60 games and between 5 and 7 pins. And all of the owners, we all have full-time jobs, and so the business is going to be sinking all of its money back into buying more games, maintaining the games, and that's really our biggest focus is the maintenance.
Okay.
You got a bowling machine? Got a bowling? Any
Yes,
of
we have
those?
several.
Let-
Sure, we have Stratabowl.
Let's talk about the maintenance thing, because we literally just covered the close of
Disney.
Disney Quest, and their biggest issue was
The maintenance of the
taking
machines.
care of the machines. They closed because they just didn't want to keep maintaining their old machines.
Yeah, and for us, one of the big focal points is preventative maintenance. We want to get in there and fix things before they break. We don't want broken games on the floor. We've actually talked about if something dies, pull it off the floor. I don't want people to see it. I want the experience to be the best possible.
I feel like that's hard. We were down at Galapagos, and it's a really cool place, but I probably ran into probably 10, 15 machines.
That were just
Yeah,
not.
when we were in Florida, we had the same
Either they were
That's
on
a lot
and
of
the
broken
controllers
machines,
didn't work, or
The screen colors were wrong.
Yeah.
See, I like your idea of pulling them off the floor.
Yeah,
I think that
it's-
makes good
To,
sense. I know it's
to
a lot
be
more
fair,
work.
Galloping Ghost has like 500 machines.
I know, but I mean, they got a billion. I'm not.
Monday, it was 599. They will hit 600.
Yeah, I'm not. I think they're wonderful, and I think everyone should go there. But
But if a machine is bad, turn it
it
off.
was kind
or
of
take it
disappointing
over.
when you go up to a machine and be like,
Right.
oh, and the screen's going.
Yeah, shake it.
Yeah.
Either turn it off or get it off the floor.
Yeah,
I
if
like
you're-
the idea of taking it
I'll
off the
tell you,
floor.
yeah.
And if you're running a zoo, you do not just leave dead
Dead
grass laying
Or-
around.
or on the
Because
same
one of the
token,
biggest
Oh, that was my
disappointments-
plan for the zoo I was at.
is there anything worse than going to a restaurant, seeing your favorite meal on the menu, and then have your waiter tell you,
Oh, that's
yeah,
gonna be
we're
a-
out?
Yeah,
I know. All right, so
Exactly.
wait, they had a machine there, and it was the death race machine,
Yep.
and it was fully up, but not working.
Yeah.
You could not get it to fire. No controls, no nothing. You
Yeah.
couldn't get it to fire. It was like, I really
No,
want
so
to
I like
build
your idea. I know it's a lot more
machine.
work, but I think it's an excellent idea to pull the machine
It
off the
is.
floor. If you've got the space to do it
We do.
and the manpower to do it, because it takes a little manpower.
It does.
So again, talking about 60 machines, 6 or 7 pinball.
And that's just at opening.
Just to start. Is there anything
We
specific?
have an air hockey table there as well.
Yeah.
We actually
A really
were
nice one.
lucky enough to get a
I know which
brand
one you have.
spanking new
Which I said right into the mic.
gold standard air hockey table.
It's a beautiful table.
wait till
This
you
is-
see this table.
If you want to do tournaments, this is the type of table you want to be playing on. Nice airflow, powerful motors. everything's going to be working really great, and so
This
we're
is a
excited
tournament
about
table.
this one. Yeah, this
It's
is
specifically
not a
designed for
cheap
tournament
table.
play.
What's your? Oh, go ahead.
No, and you know what? We're really lucky because this table is actually on loan
From the Midwest Gaming
from the
Classic.
Midwest Gaming Classic. We will be storing it for them and then bringing it to and from the event every year moving
Because
forward.
the Midwest Gaming Classic doesn't have space.
That's
to
it,
put
yeah.
But you do now.
Well, yeah, we do have the space.
We all know
so-
that Midwest Gaming Classic.
What's your favorite machine on the floor right now?
Oh, that's,
Ah, come on, you
I
gotta have
dread
one.
that question.
It's gotta happen though.
You know, for me, the favorite games are really the ones that stay working. Those really cool cheap scores that you get, the things that you find like in the woodwork that people just don't necessarily have. And one of the things that we're actually going to be losing, which I'm heartbroken about, is we have a imported missile command from Portugal. And the cabinet's blue, it looks like a Miss Pac-Man cabinet, but it has the Missile Command side art on the sides, and everything on it on the bezel is all in Spanish, and then everything else is in English. It was something that was put out by Sagasa, which was a division of Sega, and they licensed with Atari, and so it has all Atari internals on the inside. It's this weird, like, crazy imported machine. It has the front has the pinball coin door, where it's the stainless steel, so it looks really nice. The inserts say 25 pesetas, which was what told me it came from Portugal.
So this is like an original?
And yeah, this is a really rare machine that was imported to the U.S. and there aren't many of them, and unfortunately, that one's not going to make it. That one's going to be sent to another private home where it can be cared for the way it needs to be, because it's an interesting piece of history.
Right.
And if it's going to get beat on, I really don't want it on the floor. It's something that I want to make sure moves forward. But the plus side is it sounds like we're getting a battle zone in trade that fully works.
Whoa. That's
I'm
all right.
cool with the Vector.
Yeah,
so.
that is not a bad trade-off, okay?
No.
Is your because you talked about machines in and out, is it going to be a quiet auction where like, oh, okay, I really love this machine, can I buy it kind of thing?
No, we're looking at keeping everything in house, keeping
Okay.
everything maintained, and we're going to try and keep as much resurrected as possible for as long as possible. My background is in electrical engineering, so for me it's hilarious because I don't play the games much.
Yeah.
My enjoyment really came from fixing them. It's
Why
like
doesn't this
I-
sound terribly familiar?
They should have put it on a stack.
Yeah, so, and for me, I kind of got into that habit where my wife was really adamant about not having 20 projects in the basement. And so we had an agreement that nothing could be in the basement broken and not working.
When we're done here, I'm going to open the other side of my door.
And put me to work, huh?
No, I'm so literally when and again, I've always been like you. E came up and literally one time went to an old apartment building and bought like their old arcade and had like all these 1960s like
The mechanical, yeah.
baseball machine,
Yep.
Chicago coin old machine.
The bowling one was pretty nice.
Right next door. Again, eventually I will get around back to fixing again, but
Right.
same thing. But I love the little mechanical.
So,
I actually do too. I really love the old EM machines.
Yeah.
Once you get them working, they stay working.
Oh,
All
yeah.
the contacts are still
That's right. Once
clean.
you clean, right? Once you get them the
But
contact
until
the
you
first time.
get to that
Oh.
point, and anything that's just a little out of adjustment,
Yeah. So now I'm doing the old stuff, puck.
the puck bowlers.
Puck bowlers.
God, I love that thing.
Oh yeah, but literally you can hear it a block away when you fire this thing.
Oh
up.
yeah,
Chunk, 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 chunk. I mean the noises it makes is amazing.
and the real bells.
Oh god,
Ding
yeah.
ding.
Yeah, those
ding.
are
I mean,
physical bells
loud.
inside.
It
Yeah.
really echoes in a room.
So yeah, no, I do understand. I do understand how that goes.
Whatever happened to the world's gayest pinball machine? Is
It's
that still around?
downstairs. Yeah. There is a 1980s one out of Italy, Pinball Champion,
Okay.
which was
Hey, it's been voted. I'm not like
the artwork on it is truly the most homework
I'm not making
you are
this
ever going to
decision.
see in your life. It's like
LBGT.
So now-
I am sure there's a reason why you guys put this artwork on here, but wow. So I've got that one downstairs.
Jimmy picked that up in my truck that one time, and it's like, Tom's like, we're gonna go pick up a pinball machine. I'm like, yeah! And then we get out there, it's like, what the?
So I think
I like it, but
arcades are on a very interesting cycle right now. I kind of grew up in a very interesting time where kind of arcades were on the decline, that 90s era. And now I think we're getting to the point where people are understanding that, well, it's cool to play online together. There's just something much more substantial in playing in person. And
I agree.
Part of it is some of the nostalgia and everything like that has to play into it. But like, what do you think about kind of like an arcade is more of a kind of a community? Like, is it a kind of a place you just kind of meet it with friends, or is it a place to because there's competitive fighting scenes and people who are very like.
Yeah.
How does the Garcade kind of play into that kind of the whole gaming thing as a community on top of just being a place to play games?
Well, right now, actually, we have been working with Scott Lambert of the Underground Retrocade and Doc Mack at Galloping Ghost.
Okay.
And they've been kind of mentoring me over the last 3 years. So I've got some really, really good resources, some very experienced people that can kind of help nurture those sorts of things. And you add in a couple of other people in the community that are willing to kind of tell us what they want and need so that we can try and fulfill those needs so that they can have meetups with us. I mean, we specifically put in an area for food and drinks, but kind of kept it more in a cafe style so that you can sit and engage in conversations and in groups. And, if we get a large enough group in, we'll let them use the party room. I mean, that's one of those things that's really important to get the fighting guys, the shmup guys, your tournament air hockey players. Once we get a couple more pinballs and I feel really confident with them, we'll be looking at doing pinball tournaments and stuff there. So we want to make sure that we're engaging people for tournaments and leagues to try and encourage that repeat business.
Yeah.
Give you guys or everybody something that they can be nostalgic about, have fun with, do with their friends and get out. You're seeing a lot of that with the geocaching applications with Pokemon Go and Ingress for the last couple of years, where they're encouraging people to kind of form back up into groups and do things socially. And that's a really neat dynamic because it's something that we really got away from for a really long time with some of the console stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to support tournaments, or are you going to run tournaments as
All
part
of the
of
above.
all of the
Anybody
above?
that wants to put a tournament together at our location, we are more than willing to work with them. And
Well,
then
you'll run in-house ones
we
then,
will
too.
also do in-house tournaments, in-house leagues.
Uh-huh.
One of the things that I'd like to eventually get put together is I want to get like between 4 and 6 Rush the Rocks and do a NASCAR league once a week where the guys that really enjoy the driver games can come in and win points on a regular basis
No.
and have a season.
No, that makes great sense because those games, they have a dedicated following.
Absolutely.
That's one of the things, again, when we went down to Disney Quest, the linked racing games like that.
And
They had 16 of the NASCAR linked to. So when all 16 people were in a cockpit, they were
There's
all on the track
nothing
with
like
you.
that.
I did
Oh,
it.
it's
Great.
so
And
awesome.
racing games are not usually my thing, but I have sunk over $350 in initial D stage 3.
Yeah, I actually spent the last year working on ensuring that we had at least 4 or more at the Midwest Gaming Classic this year. So we were the ones that brought in 2 of the 5 that were there, and then the other 3 came from another collector that
Okay.
brought them in from Minnesota and covered trailers. I mean, some guys really put forth some effort. And, if we can find a couple of other locations, we're also friends with Greg Hansen of Arcade Impossible.
Oh, nice.
He's developed a VPN to support the Rush the Rocks remotely. So we could actually have racers against racers in other places to kind of try to engage that community and support amongst other arcades, kind of bring
Well,
it all
and
together.
I know there are PC leagues like that, but there's a pretty big cost to entry.
Absolutely.
Like if you want to get
You want a
the
seat, you
wheel
want a
and the seat
shifter,
and everything that goes
Absolutely.
in it, and really compete. There's some pretty big. You might spend a couple $1,000.
Oh, easily.
So
Yeah.
to be able to show up and spend your $15
And play all damn day.
And just
play
enjoy
all
yourself,
day,
yeah.
And when you're not racing, take a little break with Donkey Kong.
That's the way to do it.
The other thing too is like I've always loved it now that being able to kind of find these places you can meet up with people. Like once that door opens a little bit and you find other people with those similar hobbies who play the same games, it's just like it's a totally different world. Like it's people I love socializing with, and I've met so many people through the events I go to, like MGC and going to Gallop and Ghost, things like that. It's just like there are so many cool people out there with the same hobbies, and once you find them, it's just like it's electric. It really is.
Absolutely. I mean, I did collectible card games for years. I did RPG games for years, and so it was like getting together with my friends to play cards or to have a battle was what we did socially.
Yeah.
So gaming was a huge part of my youth and growing up. Not just video games, but like I said, RPGs and CCGs. It really helped me to be kind of a better person as I got older because you learn, your allies and enemy tactics, and you learn diplomacy, and so gaming is a great way for people to find other people with mutual interests.
Okay, so gaming
Thank you, sir.
hours. Let's talk a little bit about the hours you guys do.
Sure.
So we got a bowling alley downstairs. You got a board game place just in the same.
Literally a couple of doors
I was
down.
just going to say that's got to be
I
really close
swear,
by.
if you can get a roller rink to
No,
go across the street.
We have a really big parking lot.
Yeah, okay. No, I do know you could pick up a much more perfect location.
No, we looked for 2 years to
Is
find
there
the right
pizza
location.
available?
And I beat my head against the wall because I insisted that I wanted to be in like Cudahy, South Milwaukee, closer to the airport. And as it turned out, we lucked into this location where, our rent is super affordable, especially for the square footage and the location. It's an up and coming area.
You're gonna be
I'm
paying a
saying
big
that
power
I
bill,
know.
so
Yeah,
all the rent break you can get.
Yeah, right. As you add machines on that power bill just starts
Yep, it's
skyrocketing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Menominee Falls, is.
No, but you guys didn't know
everyone's
this.
I feel like everyone's moving
Yeah.
there, and that's
Yeah.
like a great
These,
area.
these guys are genius. They've converted all of them to DC power. So
So
I should have mentioned I work for We Energies.
So again, you got a great location. What type of hours are you looking at?
So initially, like I said, we all work full-time jobs. So one of the big things that we're pushing is the 1st through the 4th. We're going to be open from 11 in the morning until midnight every single day.
Right, so $15, you're getting over 12 hours of pure entertainment.
Yep.
And we can have our birthday parties there.
Yep,
right?
we
Okay.
do. We have a
That's
party
what
room
I'm
on
having
site
my
that
birthday
you can go ahead and rent. We've got lots of space. And then once we get past the July 4th holiday, because we really wanted to cater to people that may have family in town and things like that, we'll be doing Tuesday through Friday, initially from 4 until 11 p.m. And then Fridays and Saturdays will be open from 11 a.m. until midnight. And so the weekend guys have got lots to do.
Dang straight.
And then Sundays we're going to be doing 11 a.m. and we're still looking at figuring out what time we're going to close, but it's probably going to be closer to like 8 p.m.
Are you going to have like a frequent flyer pass or anything like that?
We are
that's an
talking
interesting
about
idea.
that, doing like a bring in 10 wristbands,
Yeah.
get one, for free. And so we have discussed it. We're still deciding whether or not we're going to implement it, but there may be something on the horizon very soon.
Hey, and
So save your
you
wristbands.
talked about it. I was away for a minute. Have you talked about partnering with the bowling alley on like any kind of package or anything like? Hey,
No, I haven't talked to the bowling
know.
alley yet. I have talked with the owner of TK Games
Okay.
to see what we can do, and we're kind of tossing around ideas to see what we can do, kind of move people around the complex a little bit and really open that up. But right now, our biggest focus is get the doors open.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
And a
For sure.
peanut gallery wants to know if there's any candy games.
Candy game, as in candy.
Like a
Oh,
claw
crazy.
machine with candy?
Yeah, like the
Like
crazy.
a claw machine with candy?
We do have one claw machine.
Yeah, all right,
right
there you
now.
go, guys.
It's hard to have a place that doesn't have one, but it's definitely not a focus for us at this point, unless there's additional demand. Even if there is the additional demand, that won't be covered under the wristband.
You only need the candy.
I have a claw machine with booze in it if you want to put it in there.
It's family friendly.
Yeah, we need to put that
Oh,
down.
that's right. That's family friendly. Never
We
mind.
need to put that downstairs in the bowling alley.
Okay, because mine's got little miniatures.
So- Getting this opening, you've got the space. I mean, you're ready to move. What are some of the bigger logistical things you've had to do to kind of transition from having a basement collection to having a full functioning public space like that?
Man, it's unreal. I have gone through so many different city processes, from having a conditional use, which means that they have to change the zoning on the building to allow for your type of business, and they do it per building complex. It's a great way for them to make money.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
And it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, how is your different? I mean,
But
Yeah, no, it's that.
it actually goes through the zoning board. The zoning board makes their recommendation as to approve or deny, and then it goes to the village board, and the village board actually has to address it and possibly put it out for public speaking and opinion. We were lucky enough that they thought that having an arcade in the area would be really cool. You know,
And then-
it's
and then
always
they
a
put it out
good
for
feeling
public
when the
speaking, and
guys
there's that guy.
behind the desk are high-fiving and bumping knuckles, and so we felt really confident at that point. And then just going through, you know, getting the tax stuff figured out with the state, and it's that normal getting the business up and running thing.
Yeah.
Most of my machines were working before we moved them over, so that really helped out a lot, where I didn't have to worry about rushing through and fixing 100 machines.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so now you said it's not just you though. There's some other people involved.
There is. My wife is technically a business partner. No, that wasn't. Okay.
Watch how you say that.
No,
Watch how you say that.
it's okay.
You'll go home. She'll kill you. It's okay.
No,
We'll
I've got-
beep that out
I've
in the
got a
recorded
pretty.
version.
There you go. Thank you. No, it's a big joke with us. When we put together all of the paperwork and everything, I actually explicitly called her name out and gave her a percentage, because I was like, you know, you may not be there killing yourself on a day-to-day basis, but just taking care of my house. You know,
Yeah.
dishes are done, my
Right.
clothes are
Letting
washed,
you do this shit.
my kids get fed. That's a big one.
I mean, kids are recipients.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
My lawn is getting long. I
Just
get
throw
them
some
out.
food out every once in a while. Let them
Right.
eat, trust me.
Fine.
Look at him, he turned out fine.
Yeah, they take care of themselves at 8.
Exactly.
This
She-
is why
she
Laura
does-
never
she
be.
knows
yeah,
how
but
it is.
you know, he had a home babysitter.
Yeah, I did.
It was a computer.
Fine.
Didn't do a good job.
It was a Commodore VIC
Obviously.
20, but
We all started somewhere.
That's it. That's it.
This is really better than
So,
the people he has.
that's your wife?
So.
Besides my wife, I also have a friend of mine that I've been friends with for years and years. He actually, when I first started collecting on a little bit larger scale, he went with me to go and buy my first load of games from somebody. And you know, so that took me from the 2 or 3 machines in my basement to 8 games in my basement. I was like, this is cool.
It's just
So
so long.
I
it
kept
goes
going
downhill.
from there. It's a mild addiction. But he's been really cool about it. He was always along for the ride, and you know, he never asked for gas
you
money.
know, as addictions go.
So yeah, there are worse ones.
There are worse addictions, trust me.
So he went along, and we got to the point where I wanted to open the arcade, and I was like, "You already do this with me. Let's do it for real." And he was like, "Let's do it." And you know, so we were like, you know, had a beer together and talked it out. That was the end of it, and we were going to do it. And literally from that point on, it has been 100%, 100 miles per hour every single day. And I took a week off of work last week so that I could do double shifts at the arcade to get things ready. You know, so I put in probably about 90 hours last week.
So what kind of marketing are you doing to get the word out there, other than having your amazing location?
So we're doing.
And being on the greatest worst podcast.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, this doesn't really.
Really?
This is the #1
I
podcast
can
in Southeastern
hear-
Wisconsin with a guy named
Larry.
Larry.
Damn right it is.
Cheers to that.
So, what other marketing are you doing?
So we're doing a lot of push on Facebook. We are doing a little bit on Instagram. We're starting to gear up more in the Google Hangouts. Doing some with. We're just getting started up on Twitter, and so we're trying to do a lot of the social media that kind of everybody does.
Right.
As far as local stuff, we're contacting the local news. I've got friends that work for a couple of the places, and so we're going to be contacting them, getting in touch with the local paper. We may wind up trying to get a hold of the City of Commerce to do our official ribbon cutting day of the opening. So we'd like to do something like that. And
That being said, we're talking about being up there. You guys are gonna do a preview party on Friday. We're gonna do a live.
Not this Friday.
No, not this
Not
Friday.
At the end of the month.
Friday at the end of the month.
He's already there.
Before they, I was already going for it. Before they open up, we're actually going to go up there and do some live footage from the location, and we will podcast that out live on Facebook, and we'll have it on our website as well.
yeah, we're excited to have you guys up.
Speaking of, when is the opening, the big opening?
The official
day?
big
So the
opening day.
big opening is 7117, July 1st, 17. So we got really lucky with the cool date, and
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
it's not bad. So we'll be open July 1st, and like I said, we're going to be open the entire weekend. So we're going to be doing the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Bring the kids
Open
out.
the 4th?
Bring your. Yes, we will be open the 4th of July.
So between the parade and the fireworks,
I'm just
that's
saying,
something else.
if
And
I
we
had
have
decided
air
between
conditioning.
Just for that reason alone.
Yeah.
cookout, video games.
Or I'm sure you have
We
Cookout, video games.
at the bowling alley.
Wait,
Well,
look out
yeah.
with family
Both.
who you want to
I'm
kill
gonna sell
or
that-
video game.
Go for the video.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
gonna
it.
do a little bit of selling for you, and
Well, thanks,
just about. I mean, you can get so many of these video games in some format. You can MAME, and you can maybe get it on coin ops or something like that. But what you can't get, and the reason I love this is that you cannot get the original machine, you cannot get the original controller, and that controller is not the same.
No.
It makes a difference. You play Star Wars, the original Vector Star Wars game.
Oh my god.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and maybe you play it with a mouse on MAME, or maybe you've done it with a controller. But when you get that controller
You get
that
on that yoke.
has that
Yeah.
yoke, it is so different. And these machines had these different kinds of
And if you
controllers,
really
and
look
they were
at-
just so amazing.
Yeah,
that
if
way.
you look at the way that the hobby has gone in the last couple of years, the games that demand the most money are typically the games that cannot properly be played in MAME.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask,
Paperboy, 720.
how many vector graphic games do you have?
That's a real tangent right there.
I wasn't tangent. No, because he was
No.
saying he's right. Because specifically, the one thing that never emulates really as well as you play it on a real vector screen are vector graphic games, like
Absolutely.
Star
Like
Wars.
Star Wars. And actually, Star Wars is especially picky. I mean, there's a reason that the guys that really hardcore collect, they want an Amplifone monitor rather than a Wells Garter 6100. Is
Okay.
because of the refresh rate.
He just went down the geeky rabbit hole.
Well,
Oh my God.
And this is how you can tell an arcade is in great hands.
yes.
Because I'm a nerd and I don't even get that.
Yeah, when they really are concerned about what monitor the system has.
And,
Vector's
well,
not
and that's
Apple.
just it, though. It's like, guys
Vector
complain
is
about the difference between LCDs and CRTs. I mean, that curvature of the monitor and
Refresh
the
rate.
scan lines
Thick,
that are in
bacon,
there.
fresh scan lines.
No, hey, it makes a difference.
It's just
Well,
not
no,
the same.
do you have any vector graphic games in your
We do. We have a couple of them. We have Tempest. We're good there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
we
that's a
have
spinner.
Asteroids.
That's a
Asteroids
spinner game.
love
That's a
it.
spinner.
Asteroids, yes.
We should be getting the Battle Zone in either at
Yeah, you
Oasis or
had
right
mentioned
after.
that was coming. And again, so we're big Vectrex fans, as you know. There's nothing like vector graphics. They are so completely different as opposed. Even emulating just never is the same
Yeah.
as playing a true vector graphics game on a vector base
With a spinner.
Yes.
Sorry.
No,
I agree. I mean,
I don't know why. It's just
I actually
That-
think
that
more
spinner
important
doesn't go
is the controller.
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
the
That
same.
you don't have. Not everybody has. Golden Tee.
Trackball.
Trackball.
Right.
They don't have tank controls.
Yeah, thank you,
They
Battle
don't
Zone.
have.
Battle
You know,
Zone.
I mean,
not just the
there's-
tank, but even the display where you're looking in
even
it.
Seawolf, man, with
Yeah,
the you're looking in the
That's
scope,
one of the games I
man,
remember growing up. Like
Oh, God, yeah.
standing not just on the stair, but having like something else on
So,
top of that
it's-
just so that I could see in.
So literally, Parkside Associated Mortgage had a battle zone in their room. I'm sorry. Parkside Association War Games literally had a battle zone in their room. I don't know how they ever got their hands on it, but this was, again, having battle zone was the thing to have. It was just a great
Absolutely.
vector-based
Sorry, hey, very much side point. Tangent, I don't know how many. You keep
I'll give you
track.
two.
He's keeping track of them.
And, they dissolved this year.
What game?
Really?
Yeah, Paw dissolved this year.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
All right, that's strike two.
wow, that was, wow.
That was a short tangent.
That was a short
That was
tangent.
pretty good.
Strike
But
1.5.
it was a devastating loss.
That's a devastating. Wow, that
That does hurt.
yeah, it does actually, because they, again, the original, for those of you who don't know, the original
We
Gen
started
Con,
like in the 70s.
yeah, the original
All
Gen
right,
Con was
just
put on by
stretch
the
it out.
Parkside Association War Games. So before Gen Con was Gen Con, PAW put that on. Wow, that really amazes me, actually.
As a new
Yeah.
generation of
I know,
Parkside
that was
students to
huge.
start
I
there.
recently learned that.
Kenosha, Wisconsin, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so originally, the original Parkside started at, actually, the original Gen Con started at Parkside.
Parkside.
Right, because,
Then moved to
because-
Milwaukee,
right.
the larger venue.
Yeah, which was just a
Well,
Don't get
Yeah,
them
then you
started
get
on
Don't get
Gen
started.
Con.
Yeah, you're-
Sorry,
You are
I
really,
went back
you're
in the
going
day,
down my
so-
rabbit
So
hole.
July 1, you were all set. You were psyched, man. This is gonna happen.
We are
it
excited.
is all good.
Yeah.
But in the back of your mind, there's always something you're like worried
Don't
about.
put that on
What is
him.
that?
Really?
What is that thing? What is that thing?
Man, you know, it's funny. I talked with my business partner, and we've both been comparing dreams. And a month ago, it was, what if nobody shows up the first day? What if nobody shows up the first day? And that has kind of since morphed into, what if 1,000 people show up the first day? You know?
Okay.
And I'm like, I'll take one for the team. So, you know, we just, for us, the big concern is, again, keeping the games running. You know, we're going to be so busy with so many people coming in that games are destined to drop, and it's going to be how fast can we get them back up and running? How well
Yeah.
can we maintain them
So-
and keep things going
so-
and respond to what people find is wrong?
So that day, you're gonna have people that are basically ready to go. Like
I do
technically,
have,
technically.
I have a hired gun
Yeah.
that I have coming in on the 29th and 30th.
Damn straight.
Okay.
Yep, and so he's going to help us just
Few
to make
extra
sure-
parts laying around.
Okay. So you basically set yourself up a shop on site where you
Yes.
can actually do the work.
Yeah, my shop has moved from my garage on site just for the simple sake
No,
of
no,
I'm
that's-
spending so much
Right.
time there.
Yeah.
I originally was like, oh, I'm going to do this in my garage when I'm home with the kids.
No, yeah, you don't want to.
No.
You don't want to have to transport the games back and forth anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
being able to just throw them in the back room, have a tech. and
Oh,
have a
I'm
tech
really
in the
glad not to be doing stairs anymore. Let me tell
Okay.
you. Those games,
Yeah, no,
That is like-
yeah.
Yep.
that's worth the monthly lease on its own.
Got it. So so 60 plus to start or 60 total?
No, we're pushing for 60 plus.
Okay,
Like I
so
said,
60.
we will guarantee there will be 60 working games that day.
All right. So and you've got like so you've got that area. You've got like private room for people who want to rent for birthdays and so
Yep.
on. You've got like a small.
Like a casual. That's where we're gonna
Right.
keep the food and the drink.
Are you going to do any other kind of game areas in the long run? Are you thinking about maybe later on expanding into maybe like a LAN party area, anything like that?
Not really with the LAN party. I just with the way that the internet is so easily accessible, people can do that from home. It's it's fun to do it live, but it's really difficult to coordinate.
Arcades are just better.
Oh no, I wasn't going to argue that.
I'm
but
just-
we
They have their own
discussion.
space. They
I
have their
agree.
own space.
Yes,
I agree.
no.
People don't want to pay to
To
do
play
something
a
that they
computer
can do
they
at
can do
home.
at home.
Right.
Right.
That's
The arcade is
tough
a different
sell.
experience.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a tactile, like cohesive
And
thing.
again, the fact you've been communicating with Galaxy Dolls, which have got this really down. They really do.
Yes, they do.
Besides a few small, minor things that they probably down machine, turn them off. Just turn them off. Mark them out of order. Don't leave them running. Besides that, they know what they're doing. I mean, they've got that down. That's
And
basically-
we also
And Scott's
saw
really
Record
good at
Ralph,
that
so
underground retrocade.
we-
Oh
we
my
know what's
God,
actually
Scott is
happening
on point.
yeah.
when a
you
machine
know.
gets shut off.
All right,
It's
that's
neat
my
because I
favorite.
kind of get that 2 point of interest where I've got Doc at this really just massively large scale, and I've got Scott kind of a little closer to where we're going to be at starting out, where it's a little bit smaller collection, but it's very well maintained and a very comfortable space.
When we were down in Florida, we went to 2 places. The names are going to escape me.
I know, it's killing me because we were at both, but we were really
One
drunk
up?
at both.
First up, which was my favorite.
Was it
and
One Up?
joystick. And joystick.
Joystick. How do you
Joysticks-
remember that? You're so
Joysticks
smashed.
has a good name.
Joysticks had a great name and a cool vibe. It was one
Better
like a
smash
Mid-Market
than
type
most
TV.
are silver.
So it's not like a Hooters, because that was kind of
It was kind of like a Hooters. Did you watch the
okay.
video? Dude,
No,
did you not see the girls behind the bar there? It was kind of like a
I can get behind the outfit.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
I
outfits,
was gonna say joystick sounds more of a opposite Hooters.
No.
You did have an Atari.
No, trust me.
No.
The girls they had behind the bars, it was not
You
enough.
never
Yeah,
saw
they
the
had an
movie
Atari there, and that won me
Joysticks?
over.
I haven't.
You, Amazon Prime.
All right.
It's free.
So okay.
I'll watch it when I get
I
home.
have
side
to tell you,
point.
it's a
Wait
good
side point.
movie, but
Wait
it'll give you a
side
really-
point. I know.
No. I have a side point to make.
I
first.
wait
You
side
played
point.
3.
Let it make
You
a
This
side
will be my
point
first.
first.
Okay, quick question. This has to do with the arcade, but it doesn't. Your dream cabinet, if it was anything, any rarity, any weird variant, what would it be?
Wow, that's
You didn't go down
that's a
that side.
tough one. What have I heard? You know, I'll be honest. One of the things that I'd really like to get, and it's a nightmare to maintain, is a baby Pac-Man.
Okay.
I really enjoy
Yeah.
the game myself. Again, it's something that you can't emulate and make.
So
Wait, is that
explain
the
why.
one?
Yeah.
Is that the one that combines the pinball?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm just gonna have him explain
Yes.
why Baby Pac-Man is such a nightmare to maintain because it's
Yes.
a pinball machine and a video arcade all at once.
And so, you know, it kind of blends both of those together. It's actually, that was what Galloping Ghost released on Monday, is Game 598.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now.
Rain
was
Invaders.
That was one I
599.
saw there, and it
But
was
it wasn't
not
working yet.
playable.
No, it was there already. It was there when we went
yeah.
there.
And I so wanted to play
No, I
it.
saw it there. And we go, wow, that's a really.
Guess we have to go
Yeah.
I'd
back.
say let's all take a trip. I didn't get to go.
Apparently
but
it was
guys
working
all
fine.
went.
You just hadn't turned it on.
That was a great choice, though.
So,
That's a good one.
you know, I love pinball. I love arcade games, but for me, it's like, you know, having that cross between the two is just, there's something about it.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
a
the
very
short pinball field plays really,
Oh, yeah.
really fast. And the game isn't Pac-Man. Like, it's more complicated. There's actual strategy versus just knowing what the ghosts
Are going
are
to do,
programmed
yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Well, you have to figure out how to get to the pinball in the first place.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah. Especially after a couple of beers.
Yeah. All right. So.
By the way, again, this is total side point.
Right here, guys.
I contacted the current owner of Joysticks, the movie,
Okay.
and I wanted G2B to do a Mystery Science Theater
That
on
would
the
be
movie.
awesome.
No.
And it was a little cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
But I did actually, and they were really kind of positive on the idea.
How much?
They're not making a ton of money off that.
Right. No, they wanted way too much money from us.
Yeah.
We don't make that kind of
More
money.
than they actually made off the movie.
No, they wanted more from us than they probably made off the movie while it was at the movies. So, again, you guys went with a very straight arcade. You're doing more like what the Galloping Ghost is, which I like. I think that's a really good way to go. I really do. From the standpoint is, tons of arcades, joysticks, it's, first up, cool places, well-maintained machines.
Well, but those are both in Florida, so.
But there's that chain that we went to in Atlanta. What was that one called?
But there are plenty,
There are,
there are
yeah.
plenty
There
of
are plenty of
bar
arcades.
There are plenty of bar arcades
too.
now.
There's and again, like, there's just something about seeing that kind of intergenerational connect. Like,
Right.
again, when I go to Midwest Gaming Classic, like, seeing these people bring their children to play the games they loved as a kid and watching them enjoy it, like,
Right.
that is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it is. And again, the kids latch onto these games.
Now,
They're,
one
they're
thing-
tactile. They're interesting. They've got great
Right.
mechanics. They weren't built on these
They're-
pretty graphics.
yeah.
They were built on good gameplay.
Yeah.
Well, and to be honest, there has yet to be a believable virtual pinball machine, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
I have to agree.
They've gotten very
No
close
doubt.
with a
Oh,
lot
I
of
don't know
physics.
about that.
They've
No,
done
they're
very
not
close.
that good. They're not just not
But it
that
is.
good.
Well, I guess
Far
there is
from
a
perfect.
subtleness to even just feeling
Thank
the
you.
pinball.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Even
Exactly.
feeling
You
the
just
flippers
proved your
go.
own went wrong.
Yeah, no, it does. No, he had nothing
I
to
get
that.
it.
I know.
I'll take
Very
it
nice
away
one.
from them.
But it is completely a different feel.
Not
Well, the
everybody
best-
can afford to drop 10 grand on a Medieval Madness. I get it.
Yeah, that's true too.
Hey,
Yeah, I want pinball
Now you
machines, and I
drop-
can't. I can't
Well,
have space.
and there's
Like the
different
best
kinds
video
of
games
pinball.
that emulate pinball are video games. In other words, they have elements of
Right.
video games.
Right.
Yeah, there's something you can't actually do on a pinball machine. I agree with that. A pinball machine, even a most basic pinball machine, just has a physical
Right.
to it.
But the problem
You
is
cannot
they
just
are cost
recreate.
prohibitive right now.
I
And
have
You
space
can get
is
like
everything.
you can get like a '50s one.
Well,
It's
and
actually
there's
go pretty
different
cheap.
styles,
You know, a
like-
few $100, $1,000
Yeah,
bucks.
at the Midwest Gaming Classic, I know they've been out there forever, but I fell in love with the baseball ones.
Oh yeah,
The ones where like
pitching bats?
like you,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you pitch and bat,
Absolutely.
and then those guys pop up and they run the bases. It was just like
Oh,
this
dude,
is
yeah,
so
no.
great.
Those baseball machines and all mechanical baseball machines and baseball pinball machines have their own thing about them. They just have a feel that nothing
There
else
is,
has.
yeah, it's like nothing else
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, I got a Williams one next door. It's really.
But on the virtual pin thing, I challenge you guys. All right, we got a bunch of video game.
Yeah,
guys
you
here,
do actually.
right?
You do.
All right, can somebody name a virtual pinball machine that actually takes into account the ball leaving the playfield surface? Can you get a hop off of a flipper?
Nope. Think about.
There's
Oh, and then you get a
I'm just
rumble
wondering, does
when
the
it hits the glass.
No, that's it. That's something that hits the glass, but you
that
don't.
makes you jump.
Oh God, yes. Oh God. I should have.
Especially if it's your machine.
Yeah.
Like, what's this going to cost me?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Does the
you know,
Beyond
that's
Pinball one
that's
do that?
one of those
What?
things that they
You know, you're
cannot
right. We
do.
saw.
There's a main spin-off that was a VR pinball. I wonder if that would have done because he used an actual physics engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
But it's
question.
still not the same.
I-
It's
I-
not. You
Are you
don't
talking
feel it.
about the Midwest Game Classic had one of those? It was embedded into a
Right.
regular
No,
regular
but-
pinball machine.
But he's right.
And it had
the
the
physics
screen
there-
up front, screen down below.
I don't think the physics take the into account.
I don't-
Literally, when you hit that ball once in a while, you just catch it just right where the ball
and it hits the
hits
glass.
the fucking glass and scares the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Which
Like-
really can throw your rhythm off if you're trying for something, you know, for
Yes,
big
it
points,
does.
or you know, it doesn't take into account the couple of times that the ball leaves the playfield and actually sits on top of the plastics.
Oh yeah.
I'm
You
saying,
know,
yeah, I'm
that's
saying,
another
or,
piece
yeah.
And now what
it
do you
gets
gotta do?
stuck and
Do
you
you,
have to.
do you,
Well,
wait a
without
minute.
tilting, without
no,
tilting.
Right.
do you risk the tilt?
Right. There's the tilt. The ball.
Yeah, you gotta shake it really hard and hope that it
These,
comes
these are
up.
the reasons that a virtual pin just isn't
It's
the
tough.
same. It's
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, but
Don't get me wrong. It's not that they're not fun. I can appreciate what they're doing. The big thing is really replicating that
All right.
physics engine.
Let's see Friday.
So you know,
Say goodbye.
bye.
Bye. I gotta get back to work.
We gotta go
Only
work.
talking about masturbation, aren't we?
Travis
Oh,
did a
wait,
good job.
sorry.
He's trying to
Wait, what?
prove himself.
Yeah.
I know we were talking about masturbation there.
Forget about it.
No,
Bye, Trav. Bye-bye.
I mean, he'll be amazing, but you know, they just don't know it yet, so he's got to show.
That's what I'm saying. He's
First
gonna,
interview job.
yeah, he's
There you
gonna
go.
prove himself.
Yeah.
Not a good time for that.
Everyone at home is like,
We should have been filming this in 3D. Okay.
Too bad we don't do that anymore.
We actually have done 3D.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. Let's talk one more time. The places.
the Garcade in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin.
So, if you're in Wisconsin, the first day that you're going to be open to the public is July 1st. All right.
We'll be doing a big special all weekend long, doing all sorts of giveaways and promotional things for the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th. And just as a real quick plug, I want to mention that on the 1st, we will have Cosmotrons there.
Oh, God.
They have
Yeah. If you have not had a chance to play their machine, they're going to bring their machine to Garcade. The machine is amazing.
I say,
And
even
they-
if you don't get to play it, you just get to look
No,
at it.
yeah, seriously.
Yeah, wait a minute. They have been in person person on the show.
Yes.
So go back and
Check
look
out the
up that
episode.
episode. If you have not
Shane and
seen
Dave
it.
were here
Yeah.
to like
Yep.
The game
They brought
is
us
amazing.
beer.
check it out on Steam.
Right, yeah, the game is amazing,
Yeah.
but you know something? Playing it on the machine that these guys designed is
Yeah, it's
absolutely
gigantor.
different.
It's a throwback to the vectors. I mean, you're
Yes.
playing with buttons only. You've got the nice big screen with the vector graphics, and
Yeah.
it's a really well thought out
I
game.
recommend checking
and,
it out. It's on.
we're actually
Yeah.
we're actually talking with Shane about helping us to do our own kind of custom cabinet in
You
house.
having me leave a copy of that there for you?
Yeah, no, it's
Just
available
saying.
on Steam. Everyone can
I
download
know, but
it.
I'm just
So
saying it
we
would
will
be nice to have
I
a
do have
game.
a question before we get into the wrap up.
Of
Though.
course you.
No, I do.
How many
Hurry it
What-
up, there's a
What is,
reboot
your,
on
what
the
is your
screen,
thought
Larry.
about museum consoles in your?
Okay, so yeah, now
arcade?
that's something. When we were down at different barcades, they do tend to have not just games, but they also have like old systems. Yes, we will.
Reboot cycle.
Okay,
Wow.
yes, okay. So, yeah.
Oh my God, you guys
Great,
were so
great. So are
sexy
you
on
have-
the 2600.
Besides just
It's
the
like-
old video games, you got everything else?
Not initially. We're not really looking to do the consoles. And part of the reason is, I'm going to give them a plug too. 42 Lounge in Milwaukee is a phenomenal
Yes, it is.
console bar.
Yes,
So
it is.
go and visit them. They've got, consoles on hand to be able to play. I don't want to compete with them.
No.
I think they do a great thing downtown.
Agreed.
And
Yeah,
I
they
would-
also got something in St. Francis. Have you ever been to St. Francis?
I have not.
And their
So,
food
okay.
is phenomenal.
Yeah, okay, so, but, one more time. So, you guys are,
The Garcade
you are located at?
in Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, just north of Pilgrim Road on Appleton Avenue.
They are going to have their grand opening on July 1st. Make sure you're there. We are going to be there the night before with a little preview of what you'll get to see July 1st. Look, it's July 4th weekend. You've got time. Go out, check this place out, check out what they have to offer. It's going to be amazing. Rob?
Thanks for watching Guys, Games, and Beer. You can check us out at www.guysgamesandbeer.net. Of course, on Twitter, it's at Guys, Games, Beer, no, and of course, there's free games going out on Wednesday.
Tomorrow, free game.
All right, maybe I'll actually do Free Game Friday on Facebook at www.facebook.com/guysgamesandbeer. But to make it up to you, I usually do something good when I haven't done it in a couple weeks. So expect something amazing.
And where can they find you at on the web?
They can find us at thegarcade.com. We're actually just putting the site together right now, but otherwise, please follow us on Facebook. Get all of the updates. You can see behind the scenes what's going on, what the build-out's looking like, all the work that's gone in over the last couple of months. We also push out a lot of arcade game and video game content, things that dip into the developers, the producers of the game, some of the insights behind what's out there. So give us a like out on Facebook. That's the Garcade. No space.
We will have links on all of our websites. Make sure you check them out.
I will see you next week, and so will the gang. Say bye.
Bye!